Long before civilization, the Earth belonged to giants, and survival was never guaranteed.
One man walks this ancient world alone, guided by instinct and hunger.
The ground reveals a warning, marks too deep to ignore. Trees lie broken, as if something massive forced its way through the land. Then he sees it, a living mountain moving with slow, unstoppable certainty. It does not hunt, but when threatened, it becomes destruction itself. He knows one wrong move means death beneath claws heavier than stone. The giant turns its head, sensing fragile life nearby. Instinct screams louder than bravery. This is not a battle to win.
He retreats into the open land, knowing the giant's territory must be respected or feared.
The ground vibrates with each breath the giant takes, heavy and unstoppable. Hunger forces him closer. Danger is sometimes the price of survival. A single broken branch turns silence into terror. The giant rises, not to hunt, but to warn that this land is not shared. Pride would mean death. Distance means another sunrise. The warning was ignored. Now the giant moves with intent.
Against raw power, speed becomes the only weapon.
Stone offers refuge where flesh cannot. The giant withdraws, but the memory of its power remains carved into fear. From the safe of stone, he watches the giant reclaim its territory.
The giant is not evil, only defending the land that feeds it.
But understanding does not silence hunger. Survival still demands risk. A thought forms, dangerous, desperate, but possible. Moves where the giant cannot easily see, low, quiet, patient. What the giant drops becomes his chance to live another day. The giant stops feeding, its instincts sharpen without warning. Loose stones betray his position, echoing louder than a scream. The warning is over. Now the giant charges to end the threat. Water slows the giant, but not enough to erase the danger. For a brief moment, distance grants him time to think instead of flee. He watches carefully, learning what the giant can and cannot do. Knowledge fills the mind, but hunger still claws at the body. He scans the land for anything that could turn size into weakness. The earth here is soft, treacherous even for giants. If strength cannot win, patience and land might.
He steps into the open, becoming bait for something far larger than himself.
Anger outweighs caution, as the giant moves to crush the threat. The earth gives way beneath unimaginable weight. Power fights the ground itself and begins to lose. The earth groans beneath the giant's mass, resisting strength with silence. For the first time, size becomes a weakness instead of a shield. He strikes not to kill, but to force the giant deeper into the earth. The giant roars, rage echoing across the plains, but the ground answers louder. Even now, he feels respect for a life shaped by power and age. The roars fade, replaced by the quiet breath of the land reclaiming itself. The Titan's power ends not in defeat, but in surrender to the earth that bore it. He does not celebrate. Survival leaves little room for triumph. With the danger behind him, he walks on, carrying knowledge instead of victory. The land slowly settles, as if remembering the weight it once carried. With the giant gone, paths once forbidden open to cautious feet.
Survival always leaves marks, some on the body, others on the mind.
He pauses, listening, not for danger, but for balance returning. Where destruction ruled, life quietly follows. He leaves the place not as victor, but as one who learned. The journey home feels longer, weighed down by memory. Even after giants fall, hunger remains a constant enemy. On the horizon, thin smoke rises, a sign of others like him.
He changes direction, guided by the promise of shared fire and shared survival.
The land grows familiar again, shaped by paths walked many times before. Faint voices carry on the wind, bringing relief and caution in equal measure. Smoke rises from familiar fires, promising shelter and shared survival. Before welcome comes caution. Every return is tested by trust. Faces soften as they recognize one of their own. The warmth of fire replaces the cold distance of the plains. With gestures and scars, he tells of the giant that ruled the mud. There is no cheering, only respect for a life ended by the land itself. The lesson is clear. Patience can defeat power. That night, the camp sleeps easier, knowing the land has changed. Dawn breaks gently, revealing a world still wild, but momentarily calm. He scans the horizon, knowing peace is always temporary. Animals move again through paths once claimed by giants. Without words, he shows the young how patience keeps them alive. Tools are sharpened, not for war, but for survival yet to come.
Scars remain where the giant fell, reminders etched into earth and mind.
He steps away from the fire, carrying thoughts heavier than stone. He knows now, humans do not rule this world, they endure it. Elsewhere, another giant breathes, another danger waits. What he learned will outlive him, passed from fire to fire, generation to generation.
The fire burns quietly, a fragile center in a vast and unforgiving world. Some lessons need no words, only memory and scars.
The children play where giants once walked, unaware of how close danger once stood.
The elders see beyond today, weighing the cost of survival against time.
They strengthen what little they have, knowing the land offers no mercy.
Even the sky is watched, for danger comes from all directions.
Far away, dust rises. Something large moves beyond sight.
As the sun lowers, calm returns, never permanent, always earned.
Night demands vigilance, no matter how peaceful the day seemed.
What he learned facing the giant will guide every step that follows.
Another dawn rises, not safer, but understood.
Life moves forward, carried by footsteps shaped through trial.
Some wisdom is taught without words, etched through example alone. The land does not belong to man. Man belongs to the land.
Even gone, giants leave echoes in earth and memory.
Balance returns, not through victory, but through understanding. As long as fire burns, the story continues. In a world of giants, survival belongs to those who learn, not those who conquer.